Hello viewers, tutorial 12 question 4, and we're finding the mean value, in other words the average of the following functions over the given intervals. And we've got in red there a formula from the formula sheet which will help us find that average. Firstly, we've got to work out the average or the mean of y equals 5 between x equals negative 1 and x equals 7. Is your answer a surprise? So given that we have that latter sentence in the question, let's see if we can use some intuition to predict the answer. Well, we're averaging 5, we expect 5. So let's see if we do indeed get 5. So we've got y bar, which is the symbol for the average, is the formula is 1 over b minus a. These are your a and b values. So here a is negative 1, b is 7, so we get b minus a is 7 minus negative 1 times the integral between those two values, negative 1 to 7, of your f of x, which is in this case y, just 5, dx. Okay, so we've got 1 over, that's 8 on the bottom, 7 minus negative 1 is 8. So we get 1 over 8 times, let's do that integration. Integral of 5 is 5x, and that's between minus 1 and 7. So we get 1 over 8 times, substitute in the top limit, which is going to be 5 times 7, minus substitute in that bottom limit, which is 5 times negative 1. And if we calculate that, we get 1 over 8 times 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. 35 minus negative 5 is 40. So we get 1/8 of 40, which is 5 indeed. So our answer is not a surprise. We predicted 5, we got 5. Okay, question B. Y equals 4x between x equals 1 and x equals 3. Is your answer a surprise? So again, let's predict our answer using some intuition. Okay, so y equals 4x looks like it has the form y equals mx plus c, so m is 4 and c is 0. If we put in x equals 1, we get 4 times 1 is 4. And put in x equals 3, we get 4 times 3 is 12. So it's somewhere between 4 and 12. And since it's a straight line, that gives us in some sense equal weighting between 4 and 12, which means we expect our answer to be halfway between 4 and 12. So I'm tipping that this is going to be an answer of 8. Okay, let's see if that happens. So y bar is 1 over b minus a, well b is 3 and a is 1, times the integral of our function is 4x dx, and we're integrating that between 1 and 3. So this is going to be equal to 3 minus 1 is 2, so that's going to be half the integral of between 1, let's do the integration. Integrate 4x, we get 4x squared over 2, so 2x squared, between 1 and 3. Now we can actually cancel the half with the 2, so those cancel each other out, so we get 3 to the power of 2 minus 1 to the power of 2, so 9 minus 1, yeah, 8, yeah, good. Okay, so our intuition is working perfectly there. Now C, we have to work out the average of 3x squared plus x between x equals negative 2 and x equals 2. So what we'll need to do is use our formula y bar equals 1 over b minus a. A is negative 2, b is 2, so we get 2 minus negative 2 times the integral from minus 2 to 2 of 3x squared plus x dx. So that's what we need to work out, which is going to be 1 over 2 minus negative 2 is 4 times, let's do that integration, 3x squared integrates to 3x to the 3 over 3, 3's cancel, we get x to the 3 plus x integrates to x squared over 2. And this is going to be between the limits of negative 2 and 2. So we end up with a quarter of, so top limit first is 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 squared over 2 minus, substitute in the bottom limit, which is negative 2. So we get negative 2 to the power of 3 plus negative 2 to the power of 2 over 2. So we get 1/4 of 2 cubed is 8, plus here we've got 2 to the 2 is 4 over 2 is 2, minus here we have, what have we got here? We've got negative 2 to the power of 3 is negative 8, plus if we square negative 2 we get 4 over 2 is 2. Okay, so we've got this bracket is 10, this bracket is negative 6, so we've got 10 minus negative 6 is 10 plus 6, which is 16, so it's going to be 1/4 of 16, and we get 4. So our answer, the mean value of 3x squared plus x between x equals negative 2 and 2 is 4. Okay, 2 more to do. So y equals sine x between x equals 0 and x equals 2 pi. So let's use our formula. So we've got y bar, which is our average, is 1 over b is 2 pi minus a, so a is 0, so 2 pi minus 0, just 2 pi, times the integral between 0 and 2 pi of sine of x dx. Okay, so we've got 1 over 2 pi, integrate sine, we get negative, so we can actually bring out that negative, cosine of x between 0 and 2 pi. So we get negative 1 over 2 pi times cosine of 2 pi minus cosine of 0. So cosine of 2 pi is 1, cosine of 0 is also 1. So this bracket is 1 minus 1, which is 0. So we get minus 1 over 2 pi times 0, that is 0. Let's see if we expect an answer of 0. Let's see if 0 makes sense. So if we quickly sketch a sine x graph, which recall looks like that, and it spends as much time under the axis as it does above the axis, which means that 0 is not too much of a surprise. On average, it is 0. Okay, question E, we've got the function y equals 6x minus x squared between x equals 0 and x equals 2. So our y bar is going to be 1 over b minus a, which is a is 0, b is 2, so this will be 1 over 2 minus 0, so 1 over 2. Don't need to write the minus 0, just like we didn't with question D. Times the integral from 0 to 2 of our function 6x minus x squared dx. So this is 1 over 2 times, do the integration, 6x, integrate that, we get 6x squared over 2, which is 3x squared minus x to the power of 3 over 3, and that's between 0 and 2, so that gives us 1/2. Okay, so we put in x equals 2, so we get 3 times 2 squared minus 2 to the power of 3 over 3 minus, this will be 3 times 0 squared, which is 0, minus 0 to the power of 3 over 3. So that whole bracket is 0, so we can forget that bracket. And we need to just work out this bracket. So we get 1/2 of, what have we got here? 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12, minus 2 cubed is 8 over 3. So we end up with 12 is 36 over 3, minus 8 over 3 is 36 minus 8 is 28 over 3, which gives us 1/2 of 28 is 14, so we get 14 over 3. Okay, thanks for watching, over and out.